this isn't about a spectacle. These white-collar indictments have been investigated by the state grand jury, which is a partnership with the AG and SLED. And the Satterfield indictments were indicted in November of 2021, just about 2 months after the side of the road happened. This is about allegations that represent an assault on the state judiciary. And because of that, they need to be answered.
Creighton Waters talking about the state financial charges against Alec Murdaugh. Well, today, a big day for Alec Murdaugh. He signed his plea agreement for financial crimes in federal court. Take a look. Count 1, conspiracy to commit wire bank fraud, maximum 30 years, fine of $1 million. Bank fraud, 30 years, $1 million. Wire fraud, 30 years, $1 million. Wire fraud, 20 years, $250,000. Conspiracy to commit wire fraud, 20 years, fine of $250 million. Well, that's what it said. I think it's $250,000, but the papers actually said $250 million. And then some money laundering, 25 years, fine of $500,000. Now take a look. This is part of the plea agreement. In consideration of the mutual promises made herein, the parties agree as follows. The defendant agrees to plead guilty to counts 1 through 22 of the indictment now pending, which charged conspiracy to commit wire fraud, bank fraud. The defendant agrees to be fully truthful. Oh, wow. That's a tough one for Alec Murdaugh. And forthright with federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies by providing full, complete, and truthful information about all criminal activities about which he or she has knowledge. A sum of equal to the proceeds of the defendant obtained directly or indirectly, a minimum of approximately $9 million in United States currency. Now this last one has me thinking, what's going on here? Provided the defendant cooperates and otherwise complies with the conditions of this plea agreement, the attorneys for the government agree to recommend to the court that the sentence imposed on these charges be served concurrent to any state sentence imposed for the same conduct. Concurrent at the same time. We used to call that free crime when I was a prosecutor. Take a look, folks, on the docket. U.S. versus Alec Murdaugh. Change of plea hearing is on Thursday. Let's bring back in our think tank and get some reaction. Renee Hill, Eric Bland, Michael Sterling with us. Eric, is this a sweetheart deal for Murdaugh in federal court?
Yes and no. Yes, because if they can get the murder conviction to a new trial, then he will not be convicted. This will be his only conviction, assuming that the state court trial doesn't go forward on November 27th, and he may be able to start doing his time in federal court. It's not a sweetheart deal because he is going to have to go under the hot box and take a lie detector, and they're going to ask him a lot of questions on all activities, which could include the murder, which would include the money theft, the money laundering, the drug purchasing with Cousin Eddie, the roadside shooting. It'll cover the gamut. It could implicate other people. If he fails and doesn't be truthful, then the plea deal will blow up. We all saw last Thursday, after I argued and everybody else argued, how harsh the state court judge Newman is on these financial crimes. And that's when he gave Corey Fleming 13 years. So can you imagine how much Alex Murdaugh is going to get if he's pleading guilty through counts of 1 to 22? I don't understand, if he pleads guilty in federal court, how he's going to go to trial in November on the state charges, which essentially mirror these charges when he's already pled guilty. But it is the first admission of guilt of Alex Murdaugh that has taken place since his Labor Day shooting and when he was initially detained. So I think it is a big day.
Big moment, yeah.
Yes, it's going to give him concurrence. It's going to be concurrent, but I think there's a lot of benefits that we're going to see here from this plea.
Renee Hill, is this the whole plan here, to get Murdaugh in federal prison, one of those cushy federal prisons?
I don't know if that's the whole plan, but I'm sure that was a big consideration for them in trying to get this all worked out. And I agree with what Eric said. And I also think that because he's already agreed to plead guilty in federal court, that he's ultimately going to plead guilty in the state courts, because it would not make any sense at all to go to trial there.
Unless if his conviction isn't final in federal court. He wants to be in federal prison before he admits anything in the state.
Right.
All right, we're out of time for this segment, but obviously we're going to stay on top of it, folks.